Welcome to Flight Past. My name is Simon, and you're all very welcome. We are continuing today our story on the Battle of Waterloo, and we've got to the 15th of June, which you can see up there. So what happens on this channel is you'll see the subject on the left, and in the middle you'll see the location of where we are. This is Charleroi in Belgium, and on the right is the date that we're talking about. So if you've been following the series so far, we've entered into Belgium with Napoleon. He leaves his headquarters at Beaumont in France, crosses the border in the early hours of the morning of the 15th in 3 columns. And we left last time where the French had pushed the Prussians out of Charleroi, and the Prussians were falling back on a town called Fleurus, which is here, and they were also pushing back on Gozelles at the time. So the Prussians were going to be falling back on these 2 roads, one that leads to a place called Sombref, and the other one that is back towards Waterloo itself. If you're new to the channel, this is what the channel is all about. We use the flight simulator. We use its satellite technology to basically check out important times in history. And we're following, we've been following Napoleon all the way from Elba, which was down here. We followed him all the way through France to Paris, and then he's now moved to the Belgian border, now crossed over it on the 15th. So what we do, it's a new format. If you're expecting gaming and things like that, it's more like a history chat, really, a discussion, and you can basically check out the join me here. I'm on the European West server, and you'll be able to join in with me inside the flight simulator. Now, what we're on Twitch. We're live on Twitch. So again, if you want to comment, you'll be appearing on the left-hand side. Let's get in the air and get this thing stable. The Microsoft Flight Simulator has been a bit dodgy recently, but we'll see if we can get a stable picture. If you do say hi, you'll be on the left-hand side, so you'll be acting as my co-pilot, and you're responsible for making sure that we don't crash. If you want to pop in any of your facts, then pop them in and we can check things out there. And if I say something wrong, do tell me. I'm flying live. The whole series is me flying live. There is no editing involved, so it's just a chat. So for this first time, we're on the Just Chatting page on Twitch for now. See if we can encourage more people to join in. So what you can see is mapped out here is these blue lines, and this represents the 2 directions that the troops of Napoleon will go after Charleroi. So we are just over Charleroi now. Hello, Guy. Good to see you. So we're over Charleroi, and if you remember from the previous stream on Twitch. At this point, the Prussians are pulling back. They're trying to do a fall back, slowing up the French as much as possible to give Blücher enough time to concentrate his troops at a place called Somme-Bref. Now, the good thing about flying in the simulator is we get to see the distances. I like to use the helicopter, the Huey, because it's got a good sound to it. One thing, it's easy to fly, but it does mean that we can check out the topography. And what basically happens, just a quick summary after the French have entered into Charleroi, there's this wood here, there's like a church in here, basically where this dot is now, and the Prussians are basically trying making stands all the way up this this road here, which we can see going up to the left, and the Prussians are pulling back. There's infantry and cavalry in front of them, and Gerard's corps is coming up on their southern flank, which is down here to the right. So the French are pushing up this, and this time it's around about 6 o'clock in the evening. It's getting late, and the French are pushing up here. So what I'll do is I'll do a quick fly around this triangle for the new people watching, so that you can see the scope of the area of the battlefields of Ligny and Quatre Bras and the area in between, so you get a sense of the scales. So this here is where the Prussians would be making a stand and delaying as much as possible, and they're pulling back to first of all to Fleurus, but they're over here on the left, pulling back, and you'll see coming up on the horizon over here the town of Somme-Bref, and this has been an agreed position that the Prussians have decided would be their concentration point. And it's an important place because it's on the eastern side of an axis road that runs east to west, that goes from Somme-Bref to Quatre Bras and then on to Nivelles. And so it's an important road for either Wellington's army or the Prussian army to move along and support each other. So Somme-Bref is actually to the northwest of Ligny. And we'll start to see the battlefield itself down here on the left. This is Ligny, the village of Ligny itself. Somme-Bref is where the Russians will be trying to concentrate, and eventually the meeting of the two armies, the French and the Prussians, will be in this village here down below. And it runs along, there's a sort of it's not really a river, it's more like a brook that runs along in front of these buildings. And the Prussians believe that it's a good position to defend. There's boggy land in front of the village. The buildings are pretty sturdy and to provide some sort of protection, and so they decided this will be the location where they would try to meet Napoleon if he comes up via Charleroi, which of course he does. And the actual sort of line of the battlefield goes up towards Bry, and you can see the place, the village over here. This sort of line down here basically is the battlefield site. We can find this road, which is really important. So Sombref is now behind us over here, and you can see this road that runs east-west. I believe it might even be an old Roman road, and this road is this one below us right now. So this would be, I suppose it was pre-agreed that this road which we're flying on now would be the furthest forward point of concentration of the Allied army. So if Napoleon had come over more towards Mons, then the concentration would be concentrating at Nivelles. If it's coming over towards Charleroi, then the concentration is more towards Sombref, and there's also Quatre Bras, which we will come up to. And we discussed as well that the Dutch, Belgium-Dutch division under a guy called Perponcher, and Wellington had been receiving a number of messages beginning in the morning but continuing through the day. So he gets to the point probably around about 6 p.m. and he decides that to send out an order to his troops, who are mainly concentrated on the west side of Brussels, west and southwest, to go to their concentration points. Poncher's division was actually here at this place called Quatre Bras, which we are coming up to now. I believe it's the next one. Yeah, the next junction. And because he's in the first corps, the Prince of Orange's corps, the order that he receives to concentrate would have meant that he would move west towards Nivelles. And the Poncher, even though it's a written order from Wellington, disobeys that order because he is here. He's at Quatre Bras, this junction which we can see just down here to the left. And rather than going to his concentration point, which was this town you can see over here, he decides to stay here, disobeying a direct order from the Duke of Wellington. So it's one of the first main significant decisions that affects the battlefield, is that one decision there to basically disobey the Duke of Wellington, which means this important crossroads, which we see here on our left, down below, has got troops of the Allies at it when the corps of d'Erlon, basically the section of the French army that Napoleon has given to Ney, proceeds up this road here. So we're now traveling back down towards Charleroi. Significant places that you should know about on the way down. This place here is called, well, they say it's called Le Bon Villiers, but it's just a good reason to tell you to check your maps, because Le Bon Villiers is actually, or Villiers Perwin is on the left-hand side, and this place where the Microsoft Flight Simulator is marking here as a Bon Villiers is actually Frasnes, Les Gazelles. So this is the place where the French will come to on the evening of the 15th, which we've just flown over there. So that's Frasnes. Ignore what Microsoft Flight Simulator says on that one, and then we continue down this road here which is back now towards Charleroi. And we'll get so that's the sort of area that we'll be talking about a lot today, which is the 15th of June 1815, and then to the next day, which is the 16th of June 1815, and this is the day that the battles of Ligny and Quatre Bras take place. So wherever you see this inside this blue triangle is basically the area of operations that we're concerned with. Good to see people watching. I hope you find this. You're going to find this interesting. The pace of the conversation is a little bit slow. If you're watching on YouTube, I think we've got to about episode 41 by now, so you can tell the pace that we go at and the detail that we go through. But if you do enjoy this, we're a very small channel, so just click a like, click a subscribe, make a hug, or whatever it is you have to do these days, and that will help us out tremendously. If you've got any questions, please pop them in the chat. If you want to see somewhere as well in this area, we can go and fly through that. And we actually got a playlist on YouTube where there are actual, I call them co-pilot requests, because you guys are the co-pilots. So we're heading back now to Charleroi. Now let's pause here. The problem with the flight simulator is I'm having to fly at the same time, so I'm going to jump out and go to the drone. And we can fly over around. This gives us a much better control when we're talking about it. This place here is Gozeles. There's a lot. It's a lot more built up, obviously, and this is obviously the airport wasn't there. So you'll have to sort of. Sometimes you can recognise the old street patterns for the old places. So we're talking now about 6 p.m. On the 15th of June, and the French have been held up, or were held up, along these narrow streets here. These narrow streets, these are a period. It meant that the French, because they're usually using cavalry to harass the retiring Prussians, and they've had to wait for infantry to come up. They eventually push them back along these roads here, and the Prussians are trying to slow up the French as much as possible. They bring up, and this town area here is an area called Gilly. What we've got is two battalions of 2 battalions from the Light Fusiliers of Prussians. They are from the 6th and the 28th Regiments, and they're the ones who are trying to hold up. One of them gets caught in the open by some cavalry, and as I say, Gerard is trying to cross the river Sombre here. I think it's down this way. It's a place called Châtelet. Let me just bring up the map. Yeah, Châtelet is here. So you've basically got the I think it's the 6th Corps under Gerard. He's been moving up from a place called Philippeville, which is down here. He was moving up, and he crosses the river Sombre at Châtelet, and so he's now, which would probably be around here somewhere. It looks like it would be this place, probably here. It's it's not marked, but that is probably what's called Châtelet. He crosses the bridge anyway here, gets across the river. And so what he's doing now is threatening the Prussian left flank as he'll come up this way and he starts pressurizing the Prussian left flank. So we've got French troops then coming from Charleroi. They're holding them up in these sort of narrow streets in this place called Gilly, but with the threat now coming from the left, they're forced then to pull back. Let's get rid of that map and do that again so you can see. So you've got the French coming main force, which is Napoleon's central column. It's led by Van Damme's corps. They're pushing from this direction. The Prussians are using these narrow streets here to slow up the French. But as Gerard moves over from this place over here called Châtelet, you can see where the marker is. They come up this way, forces the Prussians to basically retreat up this road here, back towards Sombref and the rest of the Prussian forces. There's a significant, I think there's this place here we mentioned was the Abbey of Soulmont, Soleilmont, sorry. So this is a significant place where they've tried to resist the French. And but eventually they're pulling back. They're resisting. They're being charged by cavalry. They're being counter-charged by Prussian dragoons, West Prussian dragoons, and at the same time, you've got Prussians have got to Gozelles, which was this place over here. They're also pulling back to this town here, and you're basically getting a withdrawal coming back this way. So Steinmetz was the guy in charge of the brigade of the First Corps that was protecting the right-hand flank of the Prussians, and his initial intention was to stop for the evening at this village here. This is the village of it's a great name, Hepignes. Let me see if I can. The problem with Microsoft Flight Simulator is the place names aren't usually on it. So we are talking, this place here is called Hepignes. As you can see, just at the end of the runway there. So he didn't intend to stop here for the evening. They were going to bivouac here. It was around about 8 p.m. But he's actually attacked again at 8 p.m. Remember, this is June in Northern Europe, so the light is probably, it will still be light at 11 o'clock at night here, maybe 10 o'clock at night, but you know, quite late. And he's forced to keep on retiring back to Fleurus, which is this town behind us. The significant event of this particular engagement here is that there was a detachment of Silesian hussars, and they get cut off from the brigade. and they will end up moving up to Quatre Bras. So they would be detached from their brigade, and they will instead head up this road here and end up being at Quatre Bras and being involved in the Quatre Bras battle the next day. So Steinmetz would eventually bivouac at a place called it's south of Saint-Amand. So it's this place here, Saint-Amand. So it's to the north of Fleurus. So he'll be pushed back this way. And he basically will encamp in this area to the north of Fleurus. Whether it has the place on it or not, this map will show yeah, it's this. It will be here, this village here. This is Ligny, and so it will be this place which I can show you now, right here. Okay, so that is the Prussian movement on the evening of the 15th. Eventually, the Van Damme will come up chasing the Prussians, and he will get to Fleurus. And so Van Damme will spend the night here on that evening, and this is when he will also meet up with Grouchy's cavalry corps. On the other side, back to the Brussels road, they've pushed the Prussians away from the excuse me, away from the Brussels road, and they and Ryle, who was his corps, remember, was from the left-hand column of Napoleon's army. They will push elements of the remaining elements of the Prussian army, which was here. They will start probing with cavalry reconnaissance and stuff, pushing up this road to see how far they could get towards Quatre Bras. But when they do get here, they find that the crossroads are in the possession of the Netherlanders. So the cavalry pickets are based around Frasnes, which is this place here. Ignore what that says there on the screen. They call it Bonvillers, but this is Frasnes. The Duke Bernard of Saxe-Weimar, he has pickets of cavalry here in the morning, And he hears the cannon fire coming from the direction of Charleroi, in this direction down there. He initially thought it was the Prussian corps of Ziethen's first corps, um, testing their guns, and something that they had been doing over the previous days. But it was only when some refugees start streaming up the road that he realizes that there was actually a French attack occurring. So he puts his division, puts his brigade on orders to prepare to move. And at 3 p.m., Saxe-Weimar receives the news that there's been a battle between Steinmetz and Reil on it over here on the right-hand side. And so he orders the 2nd Nassau Regiment to start to begin to concentrate at Quatre Bras. And when that happens, around about 7 p.m., this is when the General Colbert's Lancers, the French pickets, French advanced reconnaissance troops, they come up and they find them here. So there's a brief skirmish occurs in and around Frasnes, and the Dutch have placed an artillery battery here, and basically tried to deter the French coming up the road anymore. The cavalry can't really do anything. They then have to wait for the infantry to arrive, and they call up for Bachelou's 5th Division to come up this road here, but they won't arrive until about 9 p.m. And around this time, there was also a Lancers of the Guard. They actually decide to sidestep around Frasnes, come around, and they're trying to probe towards the crossroads. So a squadron managed to get around Frasnes. And they get up to the crossroads here, and they are repelled by Dutch infantry that was holding this farmhouse here. So you can see that there's a sort of a very fluid front line going on. Each side trying to gauge the other side. Eventually, the Dutch decide to pull. The Nassaus bring back their pickets from this town, village of Frasnes. They decide to pull it back. It's too exposed, and they will pull back towards Quatre Bras. And just to finish up, so where we got to here, then the French, then they're basically in this area now, Frasnes, and this place over here called Villers Perwin. This is their area where the French get to on the evening of the 15th of June on the Brussels Charleroi Road. And so we'll just leave this section here, and I usually like to put in a break every now and then, so I can chop it up and put it onto YouTube for the YouTube people. But we leave it here. What other significant events that happen at this time is that a messenger is now sent to the Prince of Orange's headquarters at Braine-le-Comte, and Lieutenant Webster forwards that message to Brussels. He leaves Brussels. He leaves Braine-le-Comte at about 10:30, and so the Duke receives the message that the French have arrived here at around about midnight, on the 15th of June. 15th, 16th of June, that midnight, if you know what I mean. And he receives that at the Duke of Richmond's ball. So I will leave that here for a second. For those watching on Twitch, I'm going to have a quick break, get a glass of water, and for those on YouTube, you'll just have to wait, and it will be the next episode. If you like the sound of what's going on this thing, then give me a like, give me a subscribe, and I will see you in a moment.